Okay. My notes are these very dense and striking 20 pages are briefer than I thought, so this should be just one short video. Essentially, I'm going to say pretty much everything is exactly Heidegger. I might have adjusted some of the English translation. I don't have a German edition. Also, I should say, not only do I have this Heidegger text, I've taken a class, or I sort of sat in on a class with Stephen David Ross at Binghamton University, and also I've listened to some lectures by Hubert Dreyfus from Berkeley, UC Berkeley, and also I think I may have been exposed to some of Bernard Stiegler's ideas. I saw the Ister at the very least. If I haven't seen something else of his on the web, I don't think I've read any of his work. Okay, now it's really, I shouldn't even disclose that, it's unnecessary, but just in case, the reason why I selected some of this stuff straight out of Being in Time, maybe I saw it in one of those guys' things a long time ago. So, Being in Time by Martin Heidegger, Part 1, Division 1, Preparatory Fundamental Analysis of Design. Okay. The meaning of being is found in those entities with character of Dasein. Dasein is this term that sort of defines the aspects of a human subject or human being that are ontological. I hope I don't regret putting this video out. A lot of these concepts are really tough. You'll learn more about design. It's all about design. A lot of this text. So you'll begin to understand as we proceed and discuss design. I'll repeat that statement. The meaning of being is found in those entities with character of design. Yes, okay. Like human individuals. The fundamental structure of Dasein is being in the world. Very important on the first page. Being in the world is a priori and whole. That is not atomistic. The being in the world allows us some ways of looking at items constitutive for it. That use of the word for is intentional, of course, but important, I believe. So, again, the being in the world allows us some ways of looking at items constitutive for it. So, it's being in the world is this a priori whole, not atomistic, but it allows us some ways of looking at items, these, if not atoms, items constitutive for it. That's the terminology. The whole of being in the world comes first, and phenomena constitutive for it are made to stand out. World and worldhood, being in the world as being with, and being oneself, and being in. Dasein's essential meaning is care. That's an awesome point that I haven't gotten to in terms of the later discussion. Okay, then there's another bullet, page 66, I believe, or maybe it's 67, I'm sorry. Exposition of the task of preparatory analysis of Dasein. This term existentia is equivalent to presence at hand. That is, that which objects that exist. To describe the existence of objects that material objects in the world that are available to Dasein, or to the human individual. So I have to be careful, because I can't interchange Dasein and human subject or human individual, because Dasein is a very specific ontological sort of vortex or aspect or ontological center of human individuals and human beings, which is not constitutive of its ontic aspects. If the body is ontic in itself, I don't know what Heidegger's position is on that. This is very preliminary reading. I've read 20 pages and I'm going through my very brief notes. So, again, the term existentia is equivalent to, is used for describing the presence at hand of objects, but it's not appropriate to use for Dasein or other Daseins that Dasein might meet. Existenz, with a Z at the end, it's the German word for existence, is equivalent to the being of Dasein. And that's really what we're most interested here in our ontological inquiry, which is what Heidegger's work is all about. The essence of Dasein lies in its existence. So it's existence rather than any existentia in the world at large. I took note that it is interesting that Heidegger distills the human subject into Dasein for definition of essence rather than including the whole subject complete with ontic aspects. I think that's the whole message. It is this not necessarily transcendental, but ontological center. I want to even use the term region of our. I don't even want to say our organism. I don't want to get. It's difficult to speak about. I'm glad I'm practicing, because I don't want to get confused with defining Dasein as some spatial area of our person or our body. It's an ontologically valid. It's the ontological aspects of what we are. See, the language starts to chase itself around in a tail, because it's like, what do we mean by are when we're saying the ontological aspects of what we are versus the ontic aspects, I guess is what we have to. We are not our ontic aspects, whereas we are Dasein. Anyways. Those characteristics which can be exhibited in Dasein are merely possible ways for it to be, no more than that, meaning they do not have implications on Dasein's existence. But this should be forgotten, because very soon we start talking about modes of being for Dasein, particularly authenticity, inauthenticity, and undifferentiated. And I am still sort of hesitant about the undifferentiated status, the undifferentiated mode between authenticity and inauthenticity. But those characteristics which can be exhibited in Dasein. I think part of this statement was simply about, this also gets more involved later, that Dasein doesn't have any degree of being. Dasein's being does not, the degree of being for Dasein, its existence, does not fluctuate based on modes such as authenticity, inauthenticity, or what characteristics it is exhibiting, even if they are ontological characteristics. And I'm not really sure what we're talking about outside of authenticity and inauthenticity. But Heidegger gets very involved in a lot of these ideas later on, I think. But obviously, certainly no ontic characteristics would affect the sign's degree of existence, as he claims. Okay, I'll take a pause.